that we saw today, because obviously we're sitting up in Edmonton, but all the MLAs that are here today, if you could stand up when I read your name, and please don't applause for them. Their egos are very bruised, so someone gets more applause than the other. I won't hear the end of it. So if you could please stand up, and then we'll have a big applause at the very end. So Martin Long, Jennifer Johnson, Nate Horner, Cyril Turton, Grant Hunter, Justin Wright, Ron Weed, Scott Steer, Tara Sawyer, Joseph Scow, Nolan Dick, Glenn Van Dyken, Rajan Sawhney, Adriana LaGrange, Tammy Yao, Brandon Lunty, Jason Stefan, Rick McIver, Miles McDougall, Mohammed Yassin, Nathan Newdorf, Tanya Furr, Eric Bouchard, Dimitrios Nicolaides, and Andrew Boysenko. If you could all please stand in a big round of applause. So maybe we should just move the capital to, oh wow, and the Justice Minister, wow. I'm gonna hear that. Nikki Ingrid, everybody. That's gonna hurt me later. No, I guess we just moved the capital to Red Deer, I think we have every UCB MLA right here, so that's awesome to see. But if everybody remembers that quote that Premier Smith said not too long ago, if you don't want to get shot, then don't break into people's houses. Yeah, that's right. So with our live auction that's coming up, we actually have that quote framed with a great picture of her that she's actually signed. So stick around after the Q&A. That'll be after the keynote speaker, after the Premier speaks. It's going to be a very quick auction that has some exclusive items. Also something that got added, which is a little strange to me, but our new 120 kilometers an hour Alberta speed limit signs is also going to be auctioned off, signed by the Premier. So just stay tuned for that. That'll be later this evening.
I don't want to hear that round of applause. Is everybody excited about Devin's 120 kilometers an hour? That's awesome. Well, we're going to get started with the highlight of the evening, and to do that, one of Red Deer's MLAs, one of the most important people in our cabinet and caucus, is going to come up here and introduce the Premier to all of you to start off our evening. And that, of course, is the Minister of Preventative Health Services and the MLA for Red Deer North, Adriana LaGrange.
I love making Jason Nixon bow down. he's so tall. I envy his height. I am so honored to be here. I hope you had a wonderful meal. Did you enjoy it? It's fabulous. Any meal I don't have to cook is a great meal, but this was an exceptional meal. I am so honored to be introducing our Premier, and I was trying to think, okay, what am I going to say about her? So I started writing down adjectives. She's smart. She's articulate. She's knowledgeable. Just about on any subject. Like, you bring up any subject. Oh, I know about that. I know about that. Or I'm going to find out about that. She's collaborative. She's extremely, extremely hardworking. Would you agree? She's driven. She's inquisitive. She's a multitasker, so she makes all of us become multitaskers. She's well-informed. She's relational. Given everybody that's here to come and listen to her, you know she's relational. She's politically astute. She is an incredible communicator. Would you agree with that? And she is a truly proud Albertan. She is someone that has earned my respect, and she has earned the respect of all of my MLA colleagues. And I know she has earned the respect of all of you and of every Albertan in this province, whether they agree with her or not. So with that, I want to introduce our fearless leader, our Premier Danielle Smith.
Thank you, Adriana Grange, and thank you and welcome to everybody to the 2026 Central Alberta Leaders Dinner. It is so great to be back in Red Deer in Central Alberta. Clearly, winter isn't quite ready to let go. I'm glad all of you made it here on some of these roads, but of course spring is on its way. And where better for us to gather and celebrate than right here at Westerner Park, home of the Westerner Days Fair, the Agri-Trade Equipment Expo, and of course, the Red Deer Rebels, right? Yeah. These grounds have played host to so many memories over the years. It was here, after all, that more than 2,600 UCP members gathered for our party's founding AGM in 2018. And it was here that more than 6,000 UCP members packed this venue for the largest political convention in Canadian history in 2024. Today we carry that tradition forward as we come together once again for a truly special evening, a chance to connect and reflect and look ahead. Now, before I go on, I should note that events like this would not be possible without the tireless efforts of our incredible UCP volunteers and staff. You go way above and beyond for our party in Central Alberta, selling tickets and making calls and helping to organize across the region. So thank you. I also want to recognize all of our Central Alberta UCP constituency associations, the local teams on the ground who work tirelessly to keep us strong and united and growing throughout the region. And I want to thank all of you here today, our generous donors who just propelled us to yet another record-breaking year of fundraising. Yeah! In 2025, we shattered our fundraising record by raising over $9.3 million, the largest amount raised by any political party in Alberta during a non-election year, and the 10th straight quarter that we've out-fundraised the NDP. We may have seen ran a deficit last year, yes? I'm incredibly grateful for the tremendous support you continue to show our party and our movement, and I look forward to continuing to earn your trust and confidence. So please, once again, join me in giving a huge round of applause for incredible UCP volunteers, staff, generous donors all across the province. Now, you heard that you've got pretty well all of the UCP caucus here, so Devin wasn't joking that we could pass a few laws here tonight. The quorum that we have. But let me just take a special moment to recognize our dynamic Central Alberta UCP MLAs who are in the room tonight. Day in and day out, these folks do such an amazing job advocating for Central Alberta families and businesses in the legislature. This includes, of course, Red Deer South MLA, a member of the Standing Committee on the Alberta Heritage Savings Trust Fund, Jason Steffen. Yeah. We just heard from Red Deer North MLA and Alberta's Minister of Primary and Preventative Health Services, Adriana Lagrange. Rocky Mountain House Sundry MLA, and of course Alberta's Minister of Assisted Living and Social Services, Jason Nixon. Drumheller Stetler MLA, Alberta's President of Treasury Board and Minister of Finance, Nate Horner. Sylvan Lake MLA and Alberta's Minister of Transportation and Economic Corridors, Devin Dreeshen. Lots of you don't want to drive 120 kilometers a year. Muscatchee's Wetaskiwin MLA and Alberta's Minister of Mental Health and Addiction, that's Rick Wilson. The newest member of our UCP team, Olds Disbury Three Hills MLA and chair of our Southern Alberta caucus, that's Tara Sawyer. Panoka, MLA, and chair for the Standing Committee on Private Bills, Jennifer Johnson. And of course, Camrose, MLA, and chair for the Standing Committee on Families and Communities, Jackie Lovely. But especially as well, these MLAs in Central Alberta for you are doing great work in the legislature. Let me just give you a few examples. Recently, we introduced Bill 25, which is the act to remove politics and ideology from classrooms. Never be a place of indoctrination. Schools should be places of learning, where students are taught how to think, not what to think, and where diverse viewpoints are presented fairly and without bias. We will not allow our classrooms to be woke echo chambers, where teachers espouse their personal political opinions and voice them on their students. The era of wokeism is over in Alberta. Reinforcing a simple standard. Teachers teach, schools educate, and students are exposed to ideas in a balanced and respectful way, and not an ideological one. We also recently introduced Bill 26, the Immigration Oversight Act, because we believe immigration must be orderly, accountable, and aligned with Alberta's needs and interests. This bill quite literally puts Albertans first by ensuring jobs for Albertans are prioritized. And for too long, a lack of oversight has allowed some bad actors to exploit the system through broad, fake job offers and illegal fees, putting newcomers at risk and distorting our labor market. So this legislation restores control by requiring employers to seek access to temporary foreign workers by registering with the province and by licensing immigration recruiters and consultants operating in Alberta. And we're going to do more with our referendum questions in the fall. And we recently introduced Bill 18, the Safeguards for Last Resort Termination of Life Act. Because when it comes to something as serious and irreversible as medical assistance in dying, there have to be some clear safeguards, strict oversight with real protection for vulnerable Albertans. In just the 10 years that it's been legal in Canada, the rate of MAID in our country has come to exceed that of other jurisdictions where it's been legal for longer. Under federal policy, eligibility is widening, while the guardrails and oversight are weakening. Across the country, total MAID deaths have risen from over 10,000 in 2021 to over 16,000 in 2024, which is an increase of 64%. So our government is acting now before the federal government weakens those guardrails any further, including prohibiting MAID in Alberta for those under the age of 18 and for those whose sole condition is a mental illness. We don't think that people who are depressed should be seeking MAID, they should be seeking help. So here's the thing. When we elect UCP MLAs, when we stick to our conservative values, when we stay united and remain focused on what matters to families and businesses, we get things done. The bills we are introducing in the legislature this session are a testament to that. So, once again, please join me in giving a huge round of applause to our entire UCP MLA team for all the incredible work that they're doing for our party and for our clients. Now, as I mentioned, the UCP government has been hard at work for you in the legislature. In February, we introduced Budget 2026, which is a fiscal plan that focuses on what matters to families and businesses and communities here in Central Alberta and beyond. And before I go into some of our budget highlights, I do want to put a few things into perspective. Over the past 5 years, Alberta has added 600,000 people to its population. That's like adding a city more than 5 times the size of Red Deer. And this comes after years of people fleeing the province under the NDP. So we understand why people want to be here. But, to be frank, we have some catching up to do. We need to build more schools and hire more teachers and education assistants. And this is why we're investing in 161 new school projects across Alberta right now, including projects in Acme and Black Falls, Wainwright, Breton, Camrose, Red Deer, Penhole, Wetaskiwin, Sylvan Lake, and more. We're also funding the hiring of 3,000 new teachers, 1,500 new education assistants, and 476 complexity teams to support teachers and EAs in high complexity classrooms. And to keep up with this growth, we're also continuing to make major investments in the infrastructure that Central Alberta communities rely on every single day. That includes investing $279 million for ongoing work to twin Highway 11 from Red Deer West to Rocky Mountain House. Supporting the expansion of the Red Deer Regional Airport. And we're also investing $7.5 million to upgrade the Sundre wastewater treatment plant. And as our committees grow, so does the need for skilled workers to build and sustain them. So that's why we're investing $25 million in the Olds College expansion to enhance trades education right here in Central Alberta. Yeah. We, of course, also need to build more healthcare facilities, hire more doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals so that Albertans have access to the critically important services that they need close to home. That's why we're investing $1.8 billion for the largest healthcare infrastructure project in the region's history. And that, of course, is the Red Deer Regional Hospital Centre redevelopment. Yeah. When that moves forward, it will deliver modern, expanded care that Central Albertans deserve. And thanks to the work that we've done refocusing our healthcare system and recruiting more health professionals, there are 53 doctors and 6 nurse practitioners that are accepting new patients in the Central Zone. And that's the great work. Adriana did a great job on that one. Now finally, yes. Now finally, as you may know, we have made unprecedented investments to build out the Alberta Recovery Model, which is a comprehensive system of mental health and addiction care that's helping people who suffer from the disease of addiction to recover and to rebuild their lives. In Red Deer, we're already seeing what this vision looks like in action. As you know, we closed Red Deer's consumption site. Study to see what would happen. The Canadian Centre for Recovery Excellence recently published a peer-reviewed research article that studied the effects of that closure. And guess what? The findings were clear. More people sought treatment and recovery supports. The closure of the site did not lead to an increase in mortality, emergency department visits, or EMS calls for site users. And that's because drug consumption sites do not break the cycle of addiction, they prolong it. We know that real change comes from recovery-oriented care and treatment that helps people reclaim their lives, rebuild relationships, and restore wellness. The Red Deer Recovery Community is a key part of that vision, made possible through full provincial funding and, of course, strong partnerships. This facility is giving Albertans a fighting chance, and that's something that we as a government are extremely proud of. Our government also supports integrated, community-led solutions, like you may have heard, Project Nexus, right here in Red Deer, bringing housing and healthcare and recovery services together to help the most vulnerable get back on their feet. And of course, one of the first projects I cut the ribbon on was the Sheldon Kennedy Center of Excellence. It was called the Child Advocacy Center initially, but it offers help and supports children and youth experiencing mental health or addiction challenges, which is just a wonderful local project. There's so, yeah, it really is. There's so many good things happening in Central Alberta right now. We face many challenges too. In 2025, Alberta, like many other jurisdictions, faced significant economic pressure from tariffs and geopolitical conflict. But despite these challenges, our province is booming. We continue to lead the country in virtually every major economic indicator. In fact, Scotiabank's latest provincial outlook projects that Alberta will post the strongest economic growth in Canada through to 2027. So whether it's GDP growth or job creation or housing starts, Alberta is leading the way once again. Initiatives like Red Deer Drive, an economic development agency, are helping position Red Deer and Central Alberta as a hub for innovation and entrepreneurship and future growth, and that growth is translating into real opportunities for Albertans. From March to March, last year to this year, Alberta added 101,000 new jobs, whereas the rest of Canada lost almost 14,000 jobs. Yeah, we're doing great here. Late last year, we also reached a landmark energy agreement with Ottawa that will help pave the way for a new West Coast pipeline. I do want to pause here for a moment because the commitments in this agreement, although we have still details to work out, but the commitments in the agreement are significant. They effectively closed the door on most of the damaging Trudeau-era policies that killed jobs and investment and brought economic productivity to a grinding halt in our province. The oil and gas emissions cap, gone. Net zero electricity regulations, gone. The greenwashing provisions, gone. The consumer carbon tax, gone. The export tax threats, gone. The electric vehicle mandate, gone. And Stephen Guilbeault, gone. These are victories that all Albertans can celebrate, but let's be clear, there is still far more work ahead. And Albertans need to see results, not just signatures. The truth is simple. The best time to build pipelines was a decade ago. But the second best time is right now. We must build new pipelines west, east, north, and south without delay and without hesitation to supply Asian, European, and American markets with safe, reliable, and responsibly produced energy. And Alberta is prepared to double our oil and gas production by 2035, reaching 8 million barrels per day by 2035 to meet that growing international demand. But this is about more than energy. We also expect the federal government to change course on other fronts. And that includes ending its indefensible approach to firearms policy that will target and criminalizing law-abiding firearms owners instead of the gangs and organized crime and smugglers who are the real threat to all of us. And on that front, let me be crystal clear, Alberta will not participate in the federal government's M-Grab program. Prosecutors will not prosecute, and we have also instructed police services across the province not to assist either. In fact, anyone trying to take away your guns who's not licensed as a seizure agent by Alberta's chief firearms officer could be arrested. And today, our chief firearms officer has not received a single seizure agent application, have they, Minister Amory? Not a single application has come in. Imagine that. We cannot sit here and ignore the reality that many Albertans feel deeply frustrated with the last decade of federal policies that have repeatedly undermined our economy and our provincial jurisdiction. That frustration is real, and it has left lasting scars. For some, it has even shaken their faith in Canada. And I do want to give those Albertans hope again. I want to show them that Canada can work with Alberta acting as a leader within it. That's what I'm focused on every single day. That's what I will continue to focus on in the days ahead. But before we go into a question and answer, let me just leave you with one final message. The 2027 election will be about credibility and results. And right now, we are showing Central Alberta and all of Alberta what can be achieved when Conservatives stay true to their values, stay united, and stay focused on what matters. Alberta is booming, not because of luck, but because of the strong economic foundation that we've built together, and we cannot afford to go backwards. We all remember the dark days of the NDP, 13 consecutive quarters of people packing up and leaving our province, billions in lost investment opportunities, and a jobs crisis that devastated families and businesses. This is not a path to prosperity. The path forward is what we're building right now. But none of this happens on its own. It happens because people get involved. So I'm asking you now, get involved. Knock doors, make phone calls, build signs, talk to your friends and neighbors. Because grassroots volunteers are the backbone of our party, and they are the reason that we win. If we stay focused, stand united, and stay true to the values that built this province, then I have no doubt that Alberta's best days are still ahead. In fact, we're just getting started. And together, we will keep Alberta forever strong and free.